The rift between the U.S. and its European allies is going deeper by the day, with the blame being put on Donald Trump. The chasm once again came to light at the Security Conference in Munich, where high-ranking officials from many countries were attending to discuss the problems currently faced by the world. At the meeting, German Foreign Minister Sigmund Gabriel hit out at Trump in his speech. Gabriel made snide remarks against Trump's habit of taking to the Twitter, which is the U.S. president's tool of choice to make his point on different issues. The top German diplomat said, quote, "How do we measure America? By its deeds or its tweets?" He further accused the U.S. of seeking to divide the EU. Trump's America First policy has been condemned by Washington's allies as protectionist and nativist.
I think it's leading to some divisions because the America First policy is, by definition, a nationalistic, USA-centered ideology. I think it will take longer than one administration truly for American policy to change.
During the Cold War and the years after that, Europe followed in the footsteps of the U.S., and it was even ready to go to wars if Washington decided it had to happen. Europe now seems more cohesive and stronger than before. As a result, the continent, which is home to the European Union and a powerful bloc now, considers it as pointless to sacrifice its own interests for America's. Also at the Munich conference, the German foreign minister said, quote, "The EU deals with the U.S. in a trustful manner, not as a follower." The showdown between Europe and the U.S. began to culminate once Trump took office. Various European leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel, confirmed that the EU can no longer rely on the U.S. as an ally. The tough stance that the U.S. has adopted on Iran under Trump was also raised during Gabriel's remarks. He urged the U.S. not to abort the Iran nuclear deal, but rather work with Germany to, quote, "develop new strategies to stop destabilizing politics in Iran."
Well, I think that some European states, it can be said, were more or less blindly following the United States, especially after World War II, not only in just because the United States was integral in destroying the Third Reich, which was occupying many of them, but at the same time, the United States extended aid through the Marshall Plan, which brought many countries that were on edge. They could have gone into the Soviet sphere of influence. That caused them not to.
On day one of his presidency, Trump called for pressuring Iran and the scrapping of the nuclear agreement between Tehran and the P5+1 group. The Trump administration has openly said it seeks to undermine the Iranian government and bring about transition of power in the Islamic Republic. It seems the U.S. is unable to nullify the Iran deal as it's a multilateral agreement and the U.S. is only one party to the accord.
I don't think that all of the European countries follow the United States blindly, and they certainly have not been following the United States blindly when it comes to the JCPOA, but I think it's really too soon to tell, because we may be talking in just a few years when the first term of the Trump administration is over, and we may get a president who goes right back to the normal relationship with Europe, which is one of kind of benign subservience on the part of Europe and a benign paternalism on the part of the United States. So it's really too soon to tell.
As for Washington's efforts to destabilize Iran, Trump is not the first tenant of the White House to seek to undermine the Iranian government. All attempts by his predecessors have been futile. Trump is the sixth U.S. president since the 1979 Islamic Revolution's victory, with 4 of them being two-termers.